Welcome to Bedford County Sports Talk Live, hosted by David Thomas, Bill Anderson, and Kenny Parker. Brought to you by First Bank of Shelbyville. And Kincaid Service Company. Let's talk some sports. Here are your hosts, David Thomas, Bill Anderson, and Kenny Parker.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Bedford County Sports Talk Live here on Shelbyville Now. I'm David Thomas. This is Mr. Bill Anderson. Kenny Parker is away on special assignment.
Yep. He
is with his son in Green Bay, and today he's going to be at the practice with the Green Bay Packers going through their walkthrough. So I'm anxious to hear about that when he gets back. But we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, especially the Shelbyville Central High School Golden Eagles season and their game last night against Page. But before we do, we want to take a break and hear from our sponsors, First Bank of Shelbyville and Kincaid
Service Company.
Yeah, where service is their middle name, and we'll be right back.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street today.
All righty, Bill. We've had a great season football-wise.
Wonderful.
Shelbyville Central High School took another step forward toward making it to the state championship game, but they fell last night 28-6 to Page against a Page team that might be the best high school football team I've ever seen put on a field. Defensively, you couldn't do anything against
Their
them.
punter's going to Arkansas.
I know.
The punter.
Yeah, the punter. And he was booming 70-yard punts and warm-ups, and he's like 6'3", 220 pounds. It looks like a linebacker.
Quarterback gets hurt. Throw another one in there. Keep going.
It was a challenge last night.
That kid, number 10, he's going to, where was it? Wake Forest.
The backup. I heard Memphis, but then I heard Wake Forest last night, and they said that I think on the My TV 30 broadcast. But you got they got the bookends on the defensive line. They got the edge rusher Hazard, and he's going to Louisville. And then you've got Ames, which is going to Tennessee, was committed to Wisconsin, and he had a UT sticker on the back of his helmet, so he's committed. They were just bigger than I think we expected them, even though we scrimmaged them. But going out there and seeing game time, they had 100 kids dressed out, and they were all 6'3". I mean, it's like amazing. But they look like a college team. Shelbyville, they played hard. They got on the scoreboard in the early fourth quarter.
Well, the third team scoring them all year.
Yeah. Got to 6 points, got blocked on the extra point. But I think the attention to detail was evident with Page.
Yeah.
Their special teams, everything was fine-tuned. The way their kids played, they're smart, they're strong, and they're fast. Now, we had speed, but they had enough to hang with us. So, we walk away 11-2.
Dominate us at the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
both sides of the ball at the line.
They were just huge. They were huge. They were huge, and there's nothing you can do about that. But I just want to commend our kids for fighting hard. And putting on a good show for Eagle fans this year.
Right.
11-2. 2 years ago, 1-10. Massive turnaround. Made it one step farther. But there are some things, Bill, that I saw last night. Going to Page and paying attention to a few things that we have to take a little bit more step. All right, we're going up these stair steps, and we're here, but they're 5 years, 6 years ahead of us.
Right.
Since Coach Rathbone has been there, he's done some of the same things that our coach Judge Rodden has done over the last 3 years, but he's at his 8th, 9th year. and you can see the details. They have a complete training staff.
Right.
They have probably 20 staff members on the coaching staff. And they have specific duties and all those little details. You can see that the kids are well studied. They pay attention to the game. They know what's going on. If they're standing on the sideline, they get in, they get out off the field, and they're class act. After the game, their two team captains, Ains and Hazard, rallied our team together, and they all knelt down and had a prayer together in the middle of the field. And they lingered and they talked. And I know Ains had Robert Bailey asking about his college career going forward, and wished him good luck for next year. So they're a class act. We are a class act, and we can look at their program and we can see some details that we need to work on going forward.
Look at how we've cleaned our program up to where it was 3 or 4 years ago, when we were getting all the flags because we had a reputation.
Right. Yeah.
Coach Dryden has gotten that reputation is gone now.
Yes. But that wasn't a good game for us.
No.
But it was a good experience, I think, for our kids to see those juniors and sophomores and freshmen that are coming back up, of what that state championship team looks like. We're stepping up to 6A. Right. We got to step our game up even more. And right now, I promise you, the Page players are focused on winning the state championship. But the day after they win the state championship, which I think they will.
I do too.
I think they will start working on the next year's season. Those sophomores, juniors, and juniors, sophomores, and freshmen will start working the day after that to prepare for the next year. And that's what it takes at that level.
I will say the one thing that disappoints me is that Robert didn't even get any more carries than he got. Yeah. Just to be honest with you. I mean, I think he should have gotten the ball more. Would it have made a difference? No. It really wouldn't have.
You never know what's going to happen in a game.
But the kid just ran for 373 yards and looked to me like our quarterback ran the ball more than he did.
Yeah.
Me. But,
well, there was a couple of plays that, even though we were outmanned, we had the effort there. There were a couple of plays that were game changers.
Yeah.
Okay. One of them was when Stephen broke that run.
Right.
And it looked like they had the angle on him, so he tried to cut, and he cut right into a guy he did not see, and he just hit the ball and it went up in the air.
Yeah,
we were moving right there.
Yep.
Okay. And then LeBron Ransom's interception that would have been a pick six, had our convoy was in front of him, and they missed a block on Otay.
Right.
And he came in and he had the angle and he chased him down. Now that kid's a freshman. The Otay kid is. He's fast. He's a very good running back.
9th grader.
Yes. But those were two plays that I thought changed the game.
And you can't have 10 and 6-yard punts.
No. You got pressure coming in.
They're punting at 80.
Yeah. Yeah.
70, 60, whatever exactly. It is.
And they had pressure coming in on Ben on everything he tried to do. Now, he boomed one where he had a clean shot. He boomed one, went way over. I mean, it was nice.
Really good kick.
They had
a big punt return, too. So you go back to field position, what we talked about, keys the game.
Exactly.
And special teams.
Yeah.
But they were just better.
Yeah.
Didn't matter what we did.
Yeah.
We're going to lose the ball game.
The one thing that I saw that was one of the minor details, on the kick, on the extra point where we kicked, it's like they are coming after it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we're used to playing teams that just kind of let you do it.
Yeah.
They came after it.
Mm-hmm.
And they came right up the middle and blocked it. Ben had no chance to get that ball over the line because they were right there in his face.
And we'll get to that in a minute. Scores. I think that's what happened with Pearl County and Marshall County last night. It cost Marshall County a chance to go to the state finals.
I'm surprised that they lost. Won't you run over some scores?
Let's run over a few right here. It was 28-6 Page. Springfield 47, Beach 14.
I didn't see
I'm not
that
shocked
big a
Spring
score.
Hill won,
but
I'm shocked you go to Beach and beat them that bad.
Springfield
6-5.
Springfield's going to have a rough week next week.
They are. They're doing.
But to get where they went, but finishing the year 5-5.
Yeah.
Hey, they beat Henry County,
they
beat Beach. Got beat by Beach earlier in the year. Got beat by Henry County in the year. In playoff time, they won those games. Both of them were close. I know they had a good year. They got a great quarterback. I'm anxious to see how they stand up against Page.
And I was listening, but Pearl County beats Marshall County last night, 27-21. I believe I'm saying this right. Marshall County, I think, was up 21-0 in the fourth quarter. Pearl comes back and ties it. Marshall goes down and gets it, I believe, at the 1 yard line, kicks a field goal to win the game, and it's blocked by Pearl-Cohn. So it goes to OT. Pearl-Cohn wins in OT 27-21. How about Oakland Riverdale?
That was a barn burner.
49-46, Oakland.
Hey, Riverdale's they had a good year.
Yeah, they did.
And they gave them all they wanted. I think that's a sign that all of our Rutherford County teams are now starting.
I think Riverdale has a big booster over there doing a little recruiting.
Oh, might be, but the point is, Oakland is starting to get diluted out. They had all the talent.
Transfer rule goes through, like they're saying,
it's going to spread out even
County's
more.
It's going to be even worse.
You got those second teamers that want to play first, and they're going to go to another school. It's spreading out. Hey, that whole
it's going to be the wild west of Rutherford County.
Yes.
How about Ravenwood, Stewart's Creek, 38-14? I don't think Oakland can beat Ravenwood.
I don't think they can either. They've already took it on the chin from them once this year.
I don't think they can beat them.
I don't either.
Sequatchie County, 35. Meigs County, 27.
Speaking of Ravenwood, backing up to that, we have not talked about our new region for next Ravenwood. It sits at the top of the region.
Yep.
That's who we're going to be playing against next year. All right, let's talk about this just for a second. And we're going to talk about this more in depth, the way things were broke down. But we've got Ravenwood. We've got Brentwood, we've got Summit, Independence, Shelbyville, ourselves, and Coffee County.
Right.
Am I leaving anybody out? What about Franklin?
Franklin's in there too.
Yeah, Franklin. So that makes an 8-team region.
7.
Tough.
I believe it's 7.
1, 2, 3, 7. Okay. So Coffee County's kind of hung out on the east side there. And then we're a little bit closer. And then there's that cluster of Franklin teams, Williamson County teams. That's going to be a tough region to play. But I think Central can go into there and compete at a good level if we keep getting better every year.
Right.
And that's where we're at, in case people don't know. I'm sure everybody's out there has already seen that. But
and the key here to me is, I don't know how Coach Dryden, I think I know what he's going to do, but you have to schedule down outside your region. I know we don't want to do that, but you need to be scheduling people you can beat.
Well, you need to build some confidence up before you go into that region.
Where before we were scheduling people to get ready for the playoffs,
right,
so you were sort of up scheduling.
Right.
Now you're going to have to down schedule because the region's going to be brutal.
Right. The region's going to be tough. All right. And you were finishing up there, Sevier County.
Sequatchie County, of course, 35-27. We know they're good.
Right.
And then you got Sevier County, 24, Knoxville West 17, which is in the 5A region. And Oak Ridge beat East Hamilton 30-6.
So it's going to be Oak Ridge and Sevier County. That'll be an interesting game. I don't know about either one of them. I've been seeing their scores, but I don't know about them. They always, Sevier County, obviously, I think they're undefeated. I don't think they've lost a game, just like Page. If Oak Ridge beats them, whoever goes up against Page has got a long night. I'm just telling you, it's coming. And I talked to the Ains kid after the game, and I told him, I said, y'all got to go win the state now. You got to. He said, we're going. And, I mean, the confidence is there. They're out. They're going to take it, I believe. But very, very good high school football year for Shelbyville Central.
Yep.
Anxious to see the offseason and how they build towards 6A. But I'm also anxious to see how this plays out. And I'm pulling for Page, I'll just tell you.
Right. Class act.
I
think they'll win the state this year.
Yeah. All right, Bill, let's change gears and let's talk about a little basketball.
We got a lot of basketball.
Man, it is kicked off into high gear.
It is.
Do you have some scores for us?
I do. The Shelbyville girls went up to Franklin Road Academy, got beat 55-44. The Shelbyville boys beat FRA 66-52 to get off to a 1-0 start. And Coach told me that FRA had 2 guards they brought in, and FRA were pretty good this year.
Really?
Because they're a private school, so they can recruit. And we were down in the first half and had a great second half and won the game big there.
I noticed the line score on that. We had 12 kids get on the floor, I believe, that night. So are we still doing the massive amount of kids keeping?
He's got a bunch of them.
A bunch of athletes.
He said a sophomore let them scoring.
Wow. Okay. It's going to be fun to watch them this year because they're going to be better.
Yeah, they're going to be. Shelbyville boys going to be much better.
And it's interesting, the girls team. I mean, they're going to win some ball games too. So
yeah, FRA had a really good girls program.
All right, what about our other county schools?
Cascade, Cornersville. The girls get off to a great start here. They won 56-35 against Cornersville, and they won again against Huntland, 45-42. So the Cascade girls are 2-0.
Yeah, they're getting better every year. They started that with that group of freshmen 2 years ago.
Right.
And they're all growing up. I know Brian Cruz's daughter plays on the team, and now they're upperclassmen, and they're starting to win some games. and it's good to see them
Now,
get out.
Cascade
like
boys
this.
beat Cornersville 61-55, and then I can't find a score. Maybe somebody listening out there can tell us what the Cascade Huntland score was.
I didn't
can't
see it
find
either. It's
and
not,
I've been looking. I looked this morning.
Yeah, it hadn't been reported evidently.
Community beat Fayetteville and the girls 56-49, and then the boys beat Fayetteville as well. So Community swept Fayetteville 59-51. The boys win. Then last night, Santa Fe, the girls, big win for the Community girls 51-21, and the boys fell to Santa Fe 67-53. Now tonight we've got basketball here at Shelbyville.
Yeah,
Glencliffe's here.
Right,
boys and girls right up here at the high school. So first home game
should be a good game. Good way to kick off basketball season at home.
Right.
After our Shelbyville Eagles had a great season, now we jump right into basketball at home.
Now we got that coming up.
We got Bedford versus everybody Thanksgiving Classic.
Yep.
And we're going to post this up on Facebook so everybody will get all the details. But this is a 2-night event right after Thanksgiving. And we're going to have all county teams competing in this together.
Cascade, Community, and Shelbyville. And you've also got a team out of Antioch, Franklin County, Clarksville Northeast, and Battle Creek, the new school over Moore County. This ought to be kind of cool.
Yeah, you get to see a lot of our local talent here. So it should be a big homecoming.
Should be.
You know, everybody from Bedford County that's a basketball fan should be piled into the Central Gym.
You can watch all three of them.
Yeah, and it starts like in the afternoons.
Yes.
All right.
Starts at 3 o'clock, I think, on Friday.
So if you're off Friday after Thanksgiving, go out to Shelbyville Central and watch these teams play. We're all going to be in action.
This Loretta team that's coming in, I think, went really far in the state last year. They're a really good basketball team.
Now, let's emphasize, this is boys.
Yeah,
boys only.
Boys only. Yep.
So Franklin County is going to be there playing Shelbyville on Saturday, I guess it is. And who do they play on the first game? Clarksville Northeast.
Clarksville Northeast.
Okay, and then you've got Community playing Antioch.
Yep.
What is KIP?
It's
Antioch,
a private school up there at Antioch.
Okay. And then you got Community playing Battle Creek on the second day, and then you've got Cascade playing Battle Creek the first day on Friday, and then you've got Loretto playing Franklin County. This is just a whole bunch of teams. It's going to be fun to watch.
And I believe Cascade gets Loretto the second night, and that's who put them out last year.
Right.
Loretta's pretty good.
So this is sponsored by Chili's here in Shelbyville. So basketball in full force.
Sure is.
All right, Bill. Let's take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk a little college football. This season's starting to get interesting.
It is.
So we're going to come back right after this word from our sponsor, and we're going to be jumping into college football.
Incade Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street today.
All righty, Bill, jumping into college football, we have some unusual matchups this week. We've got Tennessee playing UTEP. Typically, we play this type of game early in the year.
There's several SEC teams.
I know it. What is up with this, Bill?
I don't understand it.
I mean, you would think that all this would be over with and this would be a key game. And, of course, Tennessee's got a key game next week against Vanderbilt, but now they've got UTEP. What does this do to a football team that's coming into the playoff era of 12 teams that's a contender, and they've been having these tough games. Now they play somebody, at a lower level. What does that do to them?
The line's 41.5. Can Tennessee score 41.5 on anybody?
I don't know.
I would take UTEP in the line.
All right.
I don't think we can score 41.5.
But what does this do to them? I mean, does this stop their intensity?
Well, I think
or does it give them a chance to rest?
I think they're trying to rest to get ready, typically for your rival, which is at the end of the year.
Right. Okay, so what are some other matchups?
You've got UMass and Georgia. Here's another one. The line's 42. It's another sleeper.
Okay.
You've got
by the way, this is the Todd Bobo official
absolutely,
line.
it's the Todd Bobo line. Ole Miss, Florida, at the Swamp. and the Gators are getting 11.5.
I tell you what, I'm taking Florida.
I agree.
And
the points. They may not win the game, but I think they'll play them tough.
Florida, to me, is a story within the season.
Sure.
I thought that they were looking at a 3-9 season, 4-8 season. But they have fought, and they have scratched, and they've clawed, and they've played tough. Napier deserves some credit for holding that team together and getting better.
That quarterback's pretty good.
Yes.
He's not bad.
No, he was hurt last week, and he couldn't run like he normally would, but he was throwing that ball well.
He was. Do it well.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun.
Kentucky and Texas, line's 20. Texas,
there's not Texas. Enough. They're going to cover that line.
Louisiana Tech at Arkansas. I actually like Louisiana Tech catching 22.5.
Okay.
Alabama and Oklahoma. Weather's supposed to be bad. Alabama's a 13.5 point favorite.
I'm going to take Alabama on that line there.
Missouri and Mississippi State. Missouri is giving Mississippi State 8 points.
I'll take Missouri on that one too.
Everybody's talking about this one. Texas A&M's at Auburn. The line's only 2.5.
Ooh. What's up?
I don't know. That's what I heard this morning. Even
somebody
people think A&M's overlooking Auburn to get to Texas next week.
I don't see that happening.
Auburn's not very good.
No.
I see Texas A&M rolling, but Vegas is smart.
Yeah,
there's something up
smart.
With this line ought to be.
We thought they were crazy against the line at Georgia.
Yeah,
they were on it.
They were.
I don't know.
This reminds me of Vanderbilt going down to Auburn and being a 7-point dog, and Vandy wins the ball game. Auburn's just not very good. Speaking of Vanderbilt, at LSU, 7.5. I think LSU has quit.
It looks that way, but they've quit on their coach.
Yes.
I mean,
and he lost that 5-star recruit this week.
Yes, and the demeanor on the sideline has killed him.
Yes.
Him getting into these kids like he's doing.
You can read his lips. Yeah, it wasn't good.
It's not good language for primetime TV.
It's a bad look.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
And he wasn't able to do his fake Cajun accent either. It was him.
Yeah.
How about MTSU's actually a favorite over somebody today?
New Mexico State?
Yep, 3.5. I didn't think MTSU should be favored.
Oh, we're playing at home?
Yeah. Last home game of the year.
Last home game.
Penn State, Minnesota. At Minnesota, the line's 12. I think Minnesota gives them a ball game.
Yeah, 7 points.
Yep. Indiana, Ohio State. This is the one everybody's going to be watching. The line's 10.5. Tennessee fans, you need Ohio State to win this game by about 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
That drops Indiana out.
Because Indiana has played nobody.
They're fixing to.
Well, they just haven't played anybody all year. I mean, they're scared. They're good.
Yeah.
But they ain't played nobody.
They're fixing to see how good they really are. We all are.
If this game is close for some reason, they're probably still in the playoff. All right, Colorado 2.5. IU is getting points at Arizona State.
I can see that. I don't
think BYU's that good.
No, Arizona State. I see
nowhere
that.
as good as Colorado.
Their conversation of playoffs is out the window after this game.
Now, here's my game I'm predicting this one. Army at Yankee Stadium against Notre Dame. The line's 14.5. I predict Army upsets Notre Dame today.
It wouldn't surprise me a bit.
And that would be great news for Tennessee getting in the playoffs right there.
Yep.
This quarterback in Army's a real
So
deal.
we're pulling for 2 people today. We're a Tennessee fan.
Uh-huh.
That's Ohio State to blow out Indiana, and then Army to upset
and
Notre
I think
Dame.
You're sort of pulling for Arizona State.
Well, that clears it out.
Yeah.
You know, if BYU gets beat, that clears out that little bubble. Right. There's about 4 teams sitting there on that 11-12 spot. That gets rid of them. If Indiana gets blown out, that ends them, and Tennessee inches up.
Now,
as long
this
as they
goes
take
the
care
way
of
we
business.
think it's going to go, and it's Texas and Alabama.
Yeah.
And they're in the championship game.
Yeah.
And Texas beats Alabama.
Yeah.
How do you put a 3-loss Alabama team in the playoff when they lost head-to-head to Tennessee?
Well,
how do you do that?
You've got to make sure Tennessee's in there. Okay. And then Alabama, if they play close against Texas, they deserve to be there because they're one of the top 12 teams. Now,
with 3 losses?
It don't make any difference. Look at who they're losing to.
But if it comes down to Alabama or Tennessee in the playoff, and Alabama's got 3 losses, and Tennessee beat them head-to-head, how's Tennessee not leapfrog them?
They might.
They should.
They might. Depends on what Georgia does.
Now, that also depends. I'm not so sure Tennessee's not going to have trouble with Vanderbilt up in Nashville next
know.
Week.
I mean, Vanderbilt's for real. And, hey, I'm anxious to see how they play against LSU. Yeah. Down there at night in that environment. If they can pull an upset off down there, Tennessee better watch out because they'll be coming in with momentum. I agree. What else we got? That's it?
Well, that's about it, except you look at this playoff and it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's absolutely crazy.
And it's just like everybody thought. The SEC has beat up itself.
Yeah.
And it looks bad with 2 lost teams coming in, still in the contention for playoffs, possibly the 3 loss with Alabama. But how can you argue? I mean, who wants to line up and play one of these 12 teams, specifically 5 or 6 of the SEC teams? Who wants to play them?
But look at the teams with 2 losses. Ole Miss, terrible loss at home to Kentucky.
I know it.
Tennessee, terrible loss at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Alabama, terrible loss at Vanderbilt.
Okay, this shows you the depth of competitiveness that we have in SEC.
The difference in the Big Ten is there's 2 or 3 teams.
2 or 3.
And then the rest of them aren't very good.
Right.
In the SEC, Team 12 can beat Team 2.
I'm not wanting to go play anybody in the SEC. No. Kentucky or anybody.
Right.
Even Auburn. I mean, do you think Notre Dame would want to play Auburn? No, they don't want to. But it's going to be
have trouble with Army today.
I just want to coming. Yeah, I just wonder how much money is involved in these matchups in the playoffs. I mean, because they're taking bowl games, and you've got massive sponsors and you got big TV deals. Do they ever look at that?
What happens to the bowl system now that we have the playoffs? Do we still have all the bowls?
What's the point?
What is the point?
The point is tradition and a consolation prize. That's it.
Do we have less bowls? I'm assuming we do. No, I bet we don't. I bet we have more.
We'll have that thing out next week, Bill.
So at some point, you're going to have teams with 4 and 5 wins going to bowls?
No.
How are you going to do that and fill all these bowls?
It's still 6 wins. There's plenty out there that will have them, and there will be some 6-win teams that will go without a bowl. But I think the issue becomes this is a recruiting issue, and you get extra practice by going to a bowl. And you're going to have some of these kids that are going to the NFL.
Are we still going to have a Sugar Bowl? We're still going to have all the regular bowls like they were?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're going to be part of the playoff system, rotating around.
But do you still have the bowls separate of the playoff system is my question.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How many?
So we have 2 Sugar Bowls? 2 Orange Bowls?
No, they're all divided out. Yeah, and I think they draw those out. They like to take the top tier bowls. I don't know how it's done. We're going to have to see how this plays out.
Because I'm curious because there won't be a regular Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day as part of the playoff.
No, and the national championship game will not be a bowl game per se, will it?
It's
just a national championship game. Yeah, it used
to rotate Fiesta Bowl, Rose Bowl, whatever. Yeah. Well, there'll still be a Rose Bowl. Yeah. It's not part of the playoffs.
I don't know.
That's what we need to find out.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see. Well, Bill, we're going to take another break.
Yep.
Before we do, though, I want to talk about our 2 awesome sponsors that we have. First Bank here in Shelbyville, right here on Madison Street. For all your banking needs, go check out First Bank. They got a great staff. They'll take care of you. They've been a long-time sponsor of Shelbyville Now and Bedford County Sports. And also Kincaid Service Company, where service is their middle name. And we've said this and said this and said this. And right now in Bedford County and specifically the city of Shelbyville, there's a big push to buy local. Everybody's talking about support your local businesses. And there's a reason for that. And there's a reason that it's good for you to do that. Because when you step into Kincaid Service Company, a locally owned business for 100 years or however long it's been, they're going to take care of you. You're going to get the top quality stuff, not the big box store stuff, which is a different watered down version of the same brands. You're getting the top tier, and you're getting top tier service. And the most important thing, Bill, is what?
They'll haul it off.
They'll haul it off. They'll haul off your old stuff and replace it with the new stuff. So let's pause now and hear from First Bank and Kincaid Service Company, and we'll be right back to talk a little NFL.
Kincaid Service Company is a locally owned family business that has proudly served the Middle Tennessee area since 1934. We have a wide selection of furniture, appliances, electronics, and mattresses for every budget and design taste. We carry the brands that you know and trust, so you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for. Need financing? We have you covered. With our service department, you can rest assured that we will take care of you after the purchase. Visit our Shelbyville store at 400 Madison Street today.
All righty. Again, we thank First Bank of Shelbyville and Kincaid Service Company, both on Madison Street, both awesome businesses here in Shelbyville and Bedford County. Little NFL. You were just telling me about injury update on Brock Purdy.
Brock
You
Purdy's
say
out.
He's
and he
out.
may be out a while with a shoulder injury.
Right.
San Francisco every year has a great team.
I know
but
it.
every year. You talk about a training issue. What's the problem?
You had Kittle out last year. He ain't played a whole lot this year.
You had McCaffrey out most of the year.
It.
You got Brandon Ayuk tears his knee up. It's every year. Bosa's not playing on defense yet again this week.
You got 4 or 5 of your key players. It's always.
How many Super Bowls could this team have won in the last 5 years had they stayed healthy?
They'd be up against Kansas City every year. But here's my question. With San Francisco kind of getting shoved over to the side, who do you see as the lead favorite in the NFC at this point?
Best team in football is the Detroit Lions, an AFC or NFC. That is the best team in the NFL.
All right. Who else do you see in the NFC that has a chance?
Eagles.
Okay.
It's not the 49ers anymore.
No, what about the Command Skins?
And the Command Skins have looked pretty good.
I know. They're they're shocking some people.
Yeah, they really are.
I don't know, man. I agree with you. I think Detroit is going to run right through the playoffs.
Well, I do too. I think they're going to run right through it.
AFC now is a different story.
Yes.
What kind of matchups have we got this week, Bill? Do you know, have you got any that's out there?
Well, you got the 49ers and the Packers. Kenny's up there at that. The 49ers are getting 3. The Packers are going to win this game because of the injuries.
Yeah.
They're going to win it.
Yeah.
You've got the Eagles and the Rams, which is a Sunday night game. The Eagles are favored by 2.5 at the Rams. And the team in the AFC is going to be, Monday night is the Harbaugh Bowl.
Let me tell you something about
Ravens Chargers.
Let me tell you about that. I watched the Chargers the other night. Justin Herbert has got a rocket arm.
Sure.
Accuracy, it was
and now he's got a good head coach,
Man,
which he had not had.
Let me tell you something. Those Chargers could make a run.
They could.
And I'm pulling for them. I love Harbaugh. I know there's a lot of people don't like him. But let me tell you, his intensity, when he played football and when he's coached, man, he's thrown it all out there. And I'm pulling for them.
You tell you who's not going to make a run? It's the Ravens.
As
good as they are on paper, how do you go into a fourth quarter of a game and not give Derrick Henry the football at all?
You talking about against Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I know.
A 2-point conversion. He's not even on the field. Now, you don't want to get him the ball, fine. How's he not on the field? They're using Henry the way the Titans used him last year.
What is up with that? Is this something that they're –
Don't you want Henry out there for the threat?
You would think.
That way you don't know I'm throwing. Because when I take Derrick Henry off the field, I'm throwing. So that puts Lamar in a bad situation.
I know it. And it's like the Titans always pulled him off on third down and put as a little receiving back like Spears or whoever it was to come in on third down.
And Henry he's a playmaker. Henry's got good hands.
I do not understand it. There's something there that we're not seeing. Or is it just a fluke that they're just doing this?
The only reason they're not going anywhere is defense. Their defense is awful.
Do you think Henry don't want to be on the field? I think he wants to be on the field every play. I do too. So I don't know what that is. Speaking of Henry,
he went on the field the whole fourth quarter.
He got a little bonus check this week. He sold his house in Nashville. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
It was a big deal. They were writing up about it. I think it's like $8 million house he sold.
Wow.
So he's not going to come back and live in Tennessee, I don't guess. But the Harbaugh Bowl will be a good game, I think.
I still say in the AFC, the Chiefs are the team to beat. I don't care if Buffalo got a win over them or not. They're going to get Pacheco back.
Yeah.
Then they're going to start running the ball. They still got the best defense in the AFC, and they still got Patrick Mahomes. That's the team to beat.
All right, who's your top 3? Kansas City?
It's going to be Kansas City and Detroit in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
The Bills have a chance, but I'm going to go with Andy Reid.
Do you think the Chargers can slip in?
Yeah, I think they could slip in there.
I'm
like the
watching
Chargers.
them. I'm watching them.
Let me tell you who else is playing pretty good. Denver, shockingly.
I know it. I know.
Bo Nix has been way better than what I thought he would be.
Yes, he is. And it's another quarterback that everybody thought was dead. Russell Wilson has come alive.
Right.
At Pittsburgh. Now, I mean, he's subject to go back in the closet, but I mean, he's playing good right now, and that's good for Pittsburgh.
And how about our Titans?
That's what I was getting to. I was avoiding this. I was putting it off.
8-point dog. And now we've got Mr. Snead. We paid all that money to.
He's going to get to play?
He's on IR now.
Is he really?
Yesterday.
Oh, man.
So he's been out 5 weeks. Now he's on IR. He ain't going to play the rest of the year. The other corner we signed all that money to, he's not going to play.
What are we doing up there, Bill?
It's awful.
Are we intentionally sabotaging the franchise?
I don't know what's going on, but I know that there's a bunch of people not playing this game again. And you can I'm not saying they quit because I've seen effort, but the look here is not good.
Yeah, the guys that are out there are putting it out there, but they're not your top tier.
No.
Your top tier is gone.
All these free agents we brought in,
What
the two corners haven't played.
Okay, so what's the thinking here, Bill?
I guess they're trying to get a high draft pick, and they're fixing to get it. It's going to be us or Jacksonville.
Is it going to be a quarterback?
Did you hear the rumor about Jacksonville?
No, I haven't.
Who their next head coach may be?
No, who?
Mike Vrabel.
Really?
Would that not be interesting?
It wouldn't surprise me. He's ready to go back.
Oh, yeah,
he wants to coach.
I'm sure he does.
We probably should have kept him.
Maybe, but I will say this: when you make a mistake at quarterback and you pay the guy, look what just happened to the New York Giants. They just cut Daniel Jones yesterday.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is the same way. He's a mistake. He's not a franchise quarterback, and you paid him all that money.
I'm wondering if we have any PSL holders that are Titan PSL holders out there watching or will see this show. I'm just wondering if they're going to step up and pay this big money now for the new stadium. How do you do that when you've got a team that's
I know one person that I know is a friend of mine that kept their tickets. The rest of them did not.
Hey,
and that's probably 15, 20 people.
I had them for years, but I'll let mine go.
I quit during the Wizard Hunt years. I had enough.
Yeah, that's when I let go, and there's no way. How do you pay $10,000 for a PSL, and then you got the high price tickets on top of it? They've priced the small guy out.
The NFL's fixing to do what NASCAR did to itself. Price yourself out.
Yeah.
But at this new stadium, how are you going to park?
Shuttle buses. You got to park.
It takes tailgating away, which is a big deal.
I know. That's part of the fun.
Part of the fun is having the parking pass.
That's the NFL experience, man.
You're not going to have it here.
Hey, I remember back in the McNair days, you pull up in there, you park. There's people there 3 hours ahead of the game.
Oh, yeah.
And they had it. It would be 20 degrees outside. There'd be rows of tents popped up, tailgate everywhere.
It could still be this way if you tore down the old stadium and made it a parking lot, but that's not what they're going to do. They're making it affordable housing next to a stadium.
That's affordable housing. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. A big old apartment complex.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, Bill.
Hey, Glencliff tonight. Glencliff and Shelbyville get out, support the Eagles and Eaglettes tonight right here at home. Home game Saturday night.
All right.
And Thanksgiving, we got this.
Again, be on the lookout. We're going to have our final Judge Dryden show on Tuesday. Yep. We're going to probably have some interviews from some of our players as they wind down the season here. And we want to just extend our congratulations to Coach Judge Dryden and the Shelbyville Golden Eagles for going 11-2 this year, Region 5A champions, and making it to the third round of the playoffs. Just if you see one of the Eagles walking around, shake their hand, pat them on the back, tell them good job. Get out and support all these other schools that are now in the basketball season wide open.
Basketball
and don't forget, we're going to post this, the Chili's, Bedford versus everybody.
You got Community, Cascade, and Central all in the same building.
Friday and Saturday after Thanksgiving this upcoming week. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you on the Judge Dryden show on Tuesday at 6 o'clock.